ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So let me give you just a little heads up before we start the match here so I can kind of explain what's going to happen before it happens. So I installed Aslan's mod pack, and in the options you have the option to change some of the skins on the tanks. Well, I changed the skin on the Yaguru here. It looks kind of cool. Got a plate on the back of it, for when he goes to shoot, so it doesn't scoot him back 15 inches. And it's got camo on the front of it, laying, kind of draped over. It just looks pretty cool. I thought it looked pretty neat. And the moss is another one. I don't think we had a moss in this match, but or not a moss. A low. But anyway, so I was telling my friend DJ that's platooned up with me about it, and I said, well, let me take a screenshot of it so I can show you what it looks like. So I start turning my turret, unbeknown to me that my laptop, every once in a while, if I don't have the mouse hooked up quick enough, or sometimes I think it just turns it on its own, it turns on that little mouse, the mouse pad that kind of sets back behind your space, your regular keyboard. And it's very, very sensitive. But I go in and I shut it off, and for the most part it stays turned off. But every once in a while it just turns itself on. But you don't know it's on until you bump it with your wrist, and all of a sudden you'll see your view will go shoot to the right, or your turret will start turning to the right, or you're like, what the, or it'll fire. So we we take off. We start heading up to where the heavies are going to go up through this way, and the T-95 gets up here, and the T-54E1, and somebody else starts pushing them to try getting them scooted up there real quick, which is a good idea. And so I'm talking to DJ, telling him about, hey, oh, that looks cool, and I'll take a screenshot. Well, I accidentally shot our 54E1. I bumped the mouse pad and kabam! At first, I literally thought our artillery had shot us goofing around, or just being a dink or whatever. I didn't realize I did it. I mean, I was just as shocked as the guy that I shot in front of me. And my buddy DJ goes, dude, you just shot him. And I'm like, what? And I looked down at my lower down here, and I see it's loading. I'm like, oh shit, I did. So I instantly stopped and started typing. I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you. I bumped my mouse pad, and that's why it shot. And I mean, I took a chunk off, like 700 health off him. I think it took some off him, and actually some off of the tank next to him. I'm not sure, but I think if I remember right, it might have knocked my tracks off too. But anyways, I felt literally about that big. Since I've been playing the game, and you'll hear me talk about it again, I think I've damaged, including this time, a total of 3 team damage. This one, obviously, by accidentally hitting my mouse, well, my little mouse pad, and shooting him. And then the other 2 times I would, shrunk in, or zoomed in sniper mode. I'd go to shoot, and somebody would pull out right in front of me, either driving across the gun, or they would try and pop out and take a shot where I'm aiming through a little area, and I'd shoot him in the back of the turret. So, I've got very, very little team damage, and I like that. I don't like doing team damage. It's not cool. It sucks. And I know how it is, because a lot of people, they'll see Tank and Trucker, and if they're familiar with my YouTube channel, they'll shoot me thinking, oh, this will get me on YouTube, and he's going to say, oh, look at this dickhead, he shot me, or, make a video and he'll put me in, whatever. It's just annoying, and I don't like being shot by friendlies, because, that can make the difference between you winning a match and losing a match with that health that you lost. Well, so the 54A1, I blast them, and I type real quick, hey, I'm sorry. And the point I'm trying to make is that could have made the difference between how the match continued to go, or it could have gone 180 degrees down south. It was so quick. If I wouldn't have stopped and said, hey, I accidentally shot you, he's in his mind, he's thinking, this asshole just shot me for half my health for no reason. So he could have very well turned around, and by then he's probably loaded, clipped out on me, and there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to be able to spin this thing fast enough to keep up with pretty much any medium. So he could have just spun around me, just kept shooting me till I was dead, or he could have put a magazine into me, and we'll get the match starting here, and take half my health and been on his merry way, and now we're both pissed, and we're both calling each other dickheads and swearing at each other the whole match, and we both end up dead, or it just could have went so wrong. But I took the 2 seconds to stop and type and say, dude, it was an accident, I'm sorry. Obviously, stuck at 28. Obviously, if you're in the middle of a match and you got tanks all around you and you're trying to shoot at enemy tanks, don't stop and go, I am so sorry that I shot, boom, because then you're going to be dead. I mean, just wait till that, like, there was nothing going on here yet, so I had time to send him a quick message, let him know it was an accident. But there is times that you might have to wait until the enemies are dead, or you're dead, or whatever, to say, hey, it was an accident. Sometimes you might even have to wait till the end of the match. But the sooner you can apologize and say, I slipped up, it was a screw up, I'm so sorry, the sooner they're going to let it slide off their back and know that, hey, the dude's sorry, he fucked up. You know, let bygones be bygones. Water under the bridge, shit happens. You know, like the guy said to me after the, you know, I sent him a message after the match, actually another one after this one in the match, and then another one after the match, and he says, dude, don't worry about it. I've had it happen. I bumped my mouse and shot my gun too. I didn't hit anybody, and, you know, obviously, because I took a pretty good chunk off of him. But, yeah, so we'll go ahead and watch this now, and I really hope this is actually counting down to start the match, because my battle timer is staying at 28. I got a bad feeling it's stuck here, guys. What the hell? Oh, here we go. I see what it was. Oh my god, I had it like on super duper pooper scooper slow. Let's see what's getting around the right speed. Okay, I believe this is 1X right here. And my buddy DJ that's actually teamed up with me is bumping into me. I'm like, dude, I can't turn right, because I'm trying to turn right. Okay, so this is, you can see them lined up. So I got the 54E1 and T28, T95. And he's just trying to do him a favor, you know, and hey, that's, you know, kudos to him for doing that. A lot of people don't give a shit, and they'll just drive right on by a slow tank when they could be pushing them. So, you know, I'm talking to DJ, I'm like, oh, hey, your camo looks pretty cool. It does, it looks pretty neat that way. It takes a chunk, and it doesn't affect the tank at all. It doesn't give it better armor. It's just a skin. It just goes over what the tank actually looks like. The thing is like, you have to remember that this piece is actually really here, and if somebody shoots you there, it might have a red blotch right there, because it's, you know, but God bless America, why does it keep slowing down? Okay, so anyways, I'm talking to him, and then I bumped my mouse here in a second, and this just really went bad. Yeah, so 694 off him, and it was, I don't know, it was 20 something off him or 40 something off the T28. I'm like, holy shit. And at first scene, he stopped right there. So in my mind, you know, I just realized, because DJ, my friend's like, dude, you just shot him. I'm like, oh shit. And obviously you can see the big old hole right there, and you can see half of his health is gone, down to 1056. And I stop instantly right here, and you'll see right down, he's gaming at me. He says, what the fuck? You know, artillery was like, what the fuck? T95's what the fuck? And I said, sorry. What the hell? Mouse hit. Hing speed. Something really. I was trying to type real fast because, you know, we're trying to get down there. And I was trying to tell him I hit the mouse on accident. I think I stopped here. Yeah, I stopped here again, and I think I typed it again. Because he's like, what the fuck? I said, you can shoot me if you want, dude. It was an accident. He said, why did you do that to him? I mean, the T32. I said, I clicked mouse on accident. It was a complete accident. I mean, it happens. Everybody's probably done it at one point in time playing the game. It just happened that my gun was, unfortunately, in my buddy's head, his mouse pad was on. So we're trying to explain, and I'm trying to get caught up to him here, because now he's half dead, thanks to my stupid ass. And I want to be able to block damage for him using my tank, so, you know, he can try and stay in the match longer. And it cracks me up, because somebody in a minute's like, Platoon 1, what a couple of idiots. T49 says, calm down, T49 something. I can't see it when it's on a quick timer. I wish the messages stayed up there a little bit longer. But T49's going off on me or something. And he's like, oh, Platoon 1 are a couple of retards. Oh, yeah, you're a failed team. You're just a failed team. It's funny, though, because myself and DJ end up doing the most damage, getting like 5 or 6 kills between the both of us. But we're the failed platoon. They're the idiots. I mean, it was a fucking accident. It happens. And you can see I'm driving right up here trying to get in front of him to block anybody shooting him. And I'm backing up. Somebody ends up, yeah, he ends up getting taken out by the artillery. But I mean, I tried. I really did. And, you know, we can commence to going on the match here. Yeah, see, fucking retards in first squad. That's what the T-50 said. We'll have to look at what damage the T-50 did, because I know he didn't do the most damage in the match and get, you know, 5 kills between the top 2 of us, but we're a couple of retards. So remember, T-50, we'll have to see what that beast of a player did. Oh, he's dead! but we're the retards. People like that crack me up. So he's a shit player and did shit. Don't know what the fuck you're doing. He's dead, but boy, this motherfucker, I didn't notice running his big cock holster, and, retarded window lickers, and this idiot's already dead. He's knocked out, dead, and he won't shut his fucking mouth because we're the fail platoon, we're the bad players, but he died in the first 30 seconds of the match. Huh. Something wrong with that. Maybe he needs to turn around and look in the mirror, because he's got his tongue licking the windows and stuff, and he's got Kermit the Frog in his tanks, because obviously, now when people do that, that just pisses me off. So the T-50, the Scrotum T-50 from the Kuckin, K-U-C-K-N clan, that Masters ain't that much of a master, obviously, because he's an idiot. He's the window licker who got just nailed, shot, dead. He pushed too far forward, too quick, didn't wait for backup, got his ass killed, and now we're the window lickers. Platoon 1's a bunch of retards, and he got killed in the first 30 seconds of the match. I don't know. Maybe, do you guys see something wrong with his statements? Maybe he's talking, that's it. He's talking about himself. He's the window licker. He's the piece of shit, and he's his one-man platoon. And he's a fucking moron. That's what it was. Okay, we'll leave it at that. That wasn't about what the video was about, but I didn't see what that Ass Jack said just till now. How he's gonna call the people that did the most damage and win the match for him were the window lickers, but he did shit for damage and got killed. People crack me up. I mean, as you can see, as soon as I hit the T-54, I stopped, messaged him, said I was sorry. He understood, and after the match, I sent him that, you know, I'll read you the message, what I said to him. You know, he fully understood. It's the other players that, you know, they make, like the T-49, he was just going off, and it cracks me up. I said something about, God, I hate it when this does the messaging so darn fast. So I got hit by both the Yagzella and the PZ4. I'm trying to watch what's going on, because, you know, I don't watch these until after I'm making the video. So I'm trying to watch them and see what people are writing and stuff. And I don't know, did you hear that glitch that was in the game? That actually happened when I was playing. It was loading, and then it had loaded, but it still sounded, I mean, I was actually loaded, but it still had the sound going as if I were loading. It went, you know, like I'm in an auto loader or something. So, you know, thank goodness I was watching my actual load time and saw I was loaded and got the shot off. If I wouldn't have been paying attention, I would have thought I was still loading. So I thought that was kind of crazy. So I'm trying to watch our butt so no one comes up behind us and, you know, throttles us from the rear. But us two retards that are idiots, window lickers, I'm up to 4,000 damage. I think DJ's up to around 4,000 too. But no, this is the point I was trying to make, how things can go south really quick. That's why when I shot him, I stopped instantly. And because as soon as I shot him, you saw that gun, he was bringing it right over on me. He was going to, you know, start shooting me, but, or at least I think he was going to. But I started messaging him real quick to say, hey, it was an accident. So that's what I'm saying. You know, if that ever happens, if you know, somebody does that to you, don't be so quick to shoot them. I mean, shit happens, and that's exactly what happened. Is I, you know, bumped my frickin' mouse pad on my laptop and shot him, and it was a complete accident. But the gun started coming over my way, and I stopped real quick, messaged him, and you know, he knew I wasn't shit. I could have kept shooting him if I was really gonna, you know, be shooting him. And right here I stopped because I'm typing a message to him that's a little more clear. I mean, I really felt bad. I don't like accidental. I don't even like it if I'm playing arty and I splash somebody. You know, I'll mark the area, big old mark like that, and people still drive right into the center of it after you've shot. It's like, dude, I marked it, marked the target. Guys, 54E1, I'm so sorry I shot you. My mouse pad is normally shut off, but bumped it. You know, sometimes turns itself on, but I bumped it, and I said very, very sorry. The T49 saying affirmative and stuff. I don't know, were they teamed up? I can't tell from here. T49, 54, no, 51's not even platooned up with anybody. But the T49 keeps saying affirmative and stuff. Maybe he was talking to artillery, I don't know. But, you know, I wanted to try giving him a better idea of what happened, because earlier I was trying to type something real quick, and it just came out kind of blah, and it probably didn't make too much of sense. But he probably understood that I was trying to tell him I didn't shoot you on purpose. I'm going to speed this up as I creep up this hill. Actually, as I creep down the hill, too. We're cruising along now. Yeah, we are tooling. We're doing 30 downhill. And then I'm like, where in the hell did that T95 go? So there he sits. Still, I think that's full health on the, it's 1,800 hit points. If you hit Control, Alt, yeah, if you hit Alt, it brings up the hit points. I don't know if I can do both these. Yeah, it brings up their hit points so you can see, you know, he's still full health. He hasn't lost any damage. So I figure, you know, worst case scenario, I can take a hit, but DJ just plugs him for a good chunk, and then I pop over and actually ammo rack him. So yeah, we pretty much just watch him burn. But yeah, so the purpose of this video, and if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll some post-game stats for you, and I'll go into it a little more in-depth detail on why, you know, if you're playing, somebody shoots you, don't just turn around and start wailing on them and shooting them. Give them a second. Maybe they're, you know, if they're decent. I mean, I've been shot by people and they'll stop and say, hey, I'm sorry, that was I bumped my mouse or whatever. It happens. I understand. My kid bumped it. You know, my wife hit the mouse, but whatever. It happens, and I understand. And, you know, I'm not going to shoot them regardless, but for the most part, most people will, you know. So give them a second, and most of the time you can tell if they're going around a corner or moving along. They'll stop, type you something real quick, or they'll do auto the cruise control there, and then type while they're moving. So give them a second to respond and say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You know, just don't turn around and clip out on them and, you know, get blue and get banned or whatever, or it just, you know, like this match, like I said, it looked like it could have went south really quick. He started aiming his gun at me, but I stopped and I was trying to type to him, and I think he realized that, and that's why he didn't start shooting me, because I didn't turn blue, so he knew I wasn't banned. Oh, and by the way, I'm running my son's account today because he wanted to get those the Battle of Kursk missions done. So you just got to bounce, what is it, 2,000 damage or whatever, or 3,000 damage, so I figured that's why I played this. You know, I know it's going to bounce a bunch, and I bounced all of 550 or 560. Yeah, 560. So I ended up playing like one more match and something else, and I did. But yeah, so it can go south really quick, and, you know, it looked like it was going to happen, but, you know, give the person time to say, hey, I'm sorry. Now, if they just keep tooling on, they don't give a shit, well, you know, I don't condone team damage, and I don't like to see it happen, but hey, if it's going to make you feel any better for him shooting you and not saying you're sorry, well, it's up to you, you know. Personally, I wouldn't do it. You know, I might type and say, hey, dickhead, you know, you're an asshole. Why'd you shoot me? And then they might say, dude, it was an accident. Well, why didn't you tell me that a minute ago? You know? But anyways, if you want to hold on, I'll some post-game stats, and we'll go a little more in depth about, you know, kind of why what happened. So I'll be right back, so just hold right on. Alrighty, so here's the results of that match. That was a Master Badge Class 3, and we got a Demolition Expert, Fire for Effect, and a Bruiser, and base experience of 6,583, obviously because it's a 5X. We're just going to go over the damage real quick, and then Alright, so we hit the PZ-7 3 times for 1,783 damage. Knocked out his engine, observation device, his track, bounced one of his rounds for 560. So he's got the small gun on that. Oh wait, no. That, I think you don't get to choose a gun for that. 560, yeah, that's the average damage of that. I believe. Yeah, so you don't get a second gun to throw on there, so yeah, it's just... duh. I was thinking it was something you could throw a smaller gun on there, and I was like, wait a minute. So anyways, we bounced around from him for 560. Hit the Jagdzella for twice for 949. Knocked out his engine, gun, observation device, and his radio operator, and we spotted him for 153 damage upon a spotting. T10 we hit him for 554. T30 we hit him for 638 and knocked out his track. T95 we hit him for 642 and we knocked out his ammo rack, which ended up probably, I don't know, 6? Well, I hit him in the side, so I probably would have killed him anyways. But we knocked out his ammo rack and knocked out his gunner. The guy was platooned up with DJ Pana, we'll just call him DJ. Run with him a lot, but he had actually originally ammo racked the T95, and then I hit him the second time before he was able to fix it, which finished him off by ammo rack. Like I said, I probably would have finished him off anyways, shot him in the side. And the 416 come flying around the corner there with all of 60 hit points, and we wasted a shell and finished him off, and knocked out his track. That 416 looked like it was stock, unless that's what it looks like now since they did the, I want to say, downgrade for that one. As you can see, I'm running my son's account. He kind of stuck where he can't get to run World of Tanks, and I'm just making sure that I run his account for him to get the thing here. What is it? Battle for Kursk. See how many he's got now. I'm interested. Yeah, so I got the one today, and he got, must be 2 of them then. Oh, mission complete 2 out of 50, so he must have done the one the day before yesterday. But I know he can't play tanks today, and I'm just trying to help him keep up on that, so I ran his account. And the reason I am actually... Where? Oh, there's... the reason I was actually showing this, and I'll go over it in just a second, but yeah, so we did 4,626 damage, got 2 kills, and a base experience of 845, and my buddy DJ ran as the Jagdzella, did 3,925, got 3 kills, base experience of 776. So we ended up getting 5 kills on that, so it was pretty nice. We I don't want to say dominated that team, because it was getting kind of close for a bit there. So I had 10 shots, 10 hit, 2 with some splash damage, so total damage of 4626. Got hit 5 times, 4 pen, 1 bounced. Hits received as splash damage was 1, damage blocked by armor was 560. And yes, you see the infamous red, ching ching, and that's what I was going to talk about here. Just to give you a little bit of background, well, here, let's just finish off real quick. So I did some damage, 686 on friendlies, and it was a complete accident. So we damaged 6, destroyed 2. Damage with our assistance was at 153, and we lost 82,679 credits. Yeah, I shot all premium HE rounds in that. They expensive for that extra 300 damage. So anyways, a little background so I can explain to you kind of why what happened. And I know I kind of went over it in the beginning there. So I play tanks on a gaming laptop. It's very nice, MSI Dragon. It's a beast. It'll run most every game that most people can run in their house, and it'll run it better. This thing, I paid like $4,500 for it about 2 years ago now, maybe a little bit longer, and it runs everything still to this day perfect. Never had any hiccups in it. The only problem is it's a laptop, and it's got that touchpad right in the center of the keyboard. Well, not the center of the keyboard, let me rephrase that. It's behind your spacebar and stuff, set back just a little bit. And the keys I use are the forward, left, right, and down keys towards your right, over by your number pad. I don't use the WSAD keys. Half the time, if I'm not paying attention, I'll go to move forward, hit the Q key, and just sit there going, oh, why am I not moving? So I use the keys down here. It's a lot more comfortable too. And unfortunately, my hand sets right next to that pad, that touch pad. And all you got to do is touch it and it'll shoot. So what I did is I went into the settings and I disabled it. And I've noticed every once in a while, I don't know why. I don't know if I don't have my mouse plugged in soon enough or if it just doesn't load the drivers for it, but it'll miss that I have a mouse plugged in. And when I don't have a mouse plugged in, it defaults to that touchpad and it turns it on. And it automatically does it. There's nothing you can do. It turns it on, and then you have to go back into the settings and disable it again, or it just stays on. Unfortunately, unless you mess around with your mouse, that little touchpad, every time you get on, you're not going to know. And I didn't know. So match started out, we were moving forward. I went to move my hand over. I was actually, pushing the forward key drive forward. I went to move my palm of my hand over a little bit, and when it did, it bumped that touchpad, which in turn fired my gun, which in turn shot friendly tanks. And I felt about this big. I felt so bad. I mean, I instantly stopped, and at first, I thought our artillery hit us. I really did. I did not have a clue that I actually shot my own guys, because I think it hit actually 2 guys there. It actually did some damage to myself, I believe, too. And I instantly stopped and started trying to type real quick, because normally what happens when, even though it's an accident, you're an idiot. Actually, somebody called me and DJ. We were the idiots. We were worthless. Platoon 1 was a piece of shit, but we did the most damage, got the most kills. So I guess us idiots were pretty good. But anyways, so I know sometimes it's not feasible for you to stop instantly and start typing, but the match had just started. We weren't in the mix of things yet. Still had quite a ways to go to drive to even get to where we were going to be shooting at other tanks. I stopped instantly and tried to explain them real quick. Accidentally hit touchpad. Did not mean to shoot you. Enter. Started moving forward. I even stopped and said, if it'll make you feel better, shoot me. I deserve it. It was an accident, but hey, if you feel better, shoot away. And, the guy didn't, and after a little bit, after the match was kind of going, I tried getting up alongside him to protect him, because here I took half his goddamn health in one hit. And I felt so shitty. I really did. And so I was trying to get up there to kind of get in front of him to block any shots at him so that he could stick in the match as long as he could due to my fuck up. And then he got knocked out, which then obviously I knocked 500 some or 6 whatever hit points off of him. So he'd have been in the match probably a lot longer if I wouldn't have accidentally derped him. And so I stopped after he got knocked out. I stopped real piece of hair or lint. I stopped real quick to say sorry again, and I was I typed real quick. I was like, hey, I had a little more time to explain. I was like, this is what happened. I'm so sorry. And after the match, I actually sent him a message. I don't know. It's actually, is this? Oh, yeah. This was actually the message I sent him. I said, damn, brother, I'm so flippin' sorry. I shut. I shut my mouse pad off. And every once in a while, for some reason, it turns itself back on, and it's right next to my key I use to control the tank, and I bumped it, and bam. But I felt so bad because I know how it feels. Most of the time, someone does it on purpose. To me though, you mind if I use this? Oh, I said, you mind if I use this replay for this exact purpose of team damage? I said, I said, but serious, I'm very, very sorry. Oh, I told him, I said, I'll make you a star. And I told him, I said, but very serious, I'm very sorry. He typed back and he said, don't worry, I've hit my mouse on the damn keyboard the same way, only never hit anyone, LOL, which it's most of the time you don't hit anybody, but it just happened with this. It's a big derp gun. You just got to aim, you have your gun pointed near somebody and you're going to do some damage. And I said, unfortunately, the splash is so big with this thing. I actually hit you and someone else whoever was next to you and blah, 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 blah. You know, so I apologized to him. And the point I was trying to make in this whole cluster screw up on myself here was that could have went horribly wrong real quick. You know, he could have taken it as if I shot him on purpose or I was a frickin' retard, which that was kind of a retarded move, but it just, you know, it literally, I didn't even think it was me. I mean, it was bang, I'm like, what the hell? And then my buddy DJ was like, dude, did you just shoot him? I'm like, I looked at down at my thing and it was loaded. I'm like, son of a bitch, I did. But it could have been, you know, it could have went horribly wrong. It could have just really pushed him over the edge. He could have started shooting me, you know, bumping into me, pushing me, just doing anything he could to antagonize me for something that was an accident. But I think, I don't know, maybe part of it was I stopped instantly and said, hey, it was a mistake. I did not do it on purpose. Shit happens. And that's exactly what he said, you know. And he understood that. And, you know, he just proceeded to continue on with his game. I'd say about 80% of the time, if not more, if I would have done that. Most people, even if I would have stopped and said it was an accident, and this is like the third time since I've played in World of Tanks in 9 years that I've actually had, you know, done team damage. One time was this, obviously. The two other times I went to shoot and somebody had pulled out right in front of my gun just as I shot, and I shot him in the back of the turret. But, you know, this is the way I wish things would go more often when you're playing World of Tanks. If something happens where you accidentally shoot somebody or you accidentally bumped into them, you know, all it takes is a quick, I'm sorry, it was an accident, I didn't see you, or, you know, this is what happened, I bumped my mouse button, it shot. You know, everybody knows shit happens. But if you explain it real quick, usually the other person that you did the damage to or whatever is going to be cool about it and be like, hey, this guy just stopped literally to tell me specifically, I'm sorry, I fucked up. And they're usually pretty cool about it, and that's exactly what happened here. But like I said, you know, it could have went, you know, 180. He could have just started tracking me and shooting me and just wasting the, you know, his time and my time and the team by shooting at me and trying to take me out due to my screw up. And then, you know, he could have killed me. Oh, and he could have, you know, obviously would have turned blue, or could have got booted, or would have turned blue, and then somebody on our team would have been like, haha, I get to do a team kill, and it won't penalize me, boom, and killed him. So it could have really screwed things up, and we ended up, I believe, yeah, we won that match. Pretty sure it said victory. Yeah, victory, we won that one. But like I said, you know, he could have knocked me out, which, you know, I was top tier tank in that match, and I did almost, or what I do, like 5,000 damage or whatever it was, or close to 5,000. So if he would have knocked me out because of a screw up on my part, the game could have ended up completely on the opposite end. We could have lost if he would have shot me, taken me out. Let's say he got taken out because of friendly fire. You know, he's blue, and so somebody takes him out because he took me out. It can go so wrong in so many ways. And all it takes is a simple stop. And like I said, obviously, if you got 2 tanks or 3 tanks in front of you and you're shooting at them and they're shooting at you, you don't want to stop right there and go, I am so sorry that I shot you. Boom. Because you'll be dead by the time you got half of it typed. You know, but as soon as you can stop behind a rock or a hill or you're safe, you know, let that person know. Say, dude, I'm sorry, it was a complete accident. Or if they start shooting you, then obviously stop. Hey, it was an accident, I'm sorry. You know, and it can just make things go completely different than how it could have panned out. And this could have panned out really bad for me from a stupid, just a bump of a mouse pad with my, you know, my wrist, and, you know, all of a sudden, bam, I hit friendly. And like I said, I really feel bad when and if I have friendly team damage, because I know what it's like and I have it happen a lot to me. A lot of times people will do it just because if they know I do YouTube videos, they'll see it, go, oh, that tank and trunker asshole, click, boom, and, you know, shoot me for 400 hit points right out. I've had many of times a match will start and somebody will actually put a round in me as they drive by, kind of like, oh, notice me. You know, oh, he'll make a video of me now because I shot him because I was doing something stupid. And it happens a lot more than you would think. But, you know, you just deal with it. That's a part of, you know, making YouTube videos. That, you know, I get some extra credits because they shot me. If I end up dying, you know, because he shot me and we lose, well, that's on him. But, you know, I won't retaliate and shoot somebody back on purpose. I won't bump somebody, push them around. It gets you nowhere fast. And I wish a lot more people would look at it that way and do the same thing. But anyways, I know it's kind of long-winded there. I do apologize, but I just kind of wanted to get this video out there to show you how, you know, things could have gone way different than they did by a simple "I'm sorry." But if you enjoyed the video, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.